welcome back to the Coach Mack Show, the second edition of the 2013 football season. Coach, how you doing?
Good, great.
It's been a hot day today. I was looking at some various sites, and I thought something might want to touch on today, being with the heats and everything. I got to go see a little bit of the Bethune practice day, and the kids it was just scorching out there at 3 o'clock. And one of the things that I noticed GHSA has been harping on all summer, or at least the last little bit here, is player safety and the heat index and so forth. I wonder if you could talk about that.
Well, last year GHSA took some good steps forward in implementing a new heat policy. I have to take a wet bulb reading before every practice and then throughout the practice to make sure that we're within the legal or within the right temperature to be out there. Mm-hmm. And there's been times where we've had to wait a while until it cools down, maybe a half an hour or so to get the temperature right. But we have we're following that. Our school board bought us a cover for the kids to go under to have water for periodic breaks and so forth. And we're following it. It's our kids don't seem to have that much trouble with the heat, being that we have a pretty tough summer workout program. Yeah. And a lot of our kids work outside or spend a lot of time outside, so the heat really hasn't been a problem for us in the past, or don't seem to be now. But we're following the GHSA guidelines for heat and that sort of thing. So, but it hasn't been a real big problem. I know that it pretty much has eliminated camps. We used to have the 4 or 5 day camps where we'd have 3 to 4 workouts a day. It's eliminated that. Also, part of the heat policy says, if you have a 2-a-day, one of them can be in full pads, one of them must be in just helmet and jersey, and shorts, no pads, and then you have to follow that 2-a-day with a single day of practice.
Oh, right.
So it's really eliminated the old 2-a-days and the camps and so forth, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, having to practice at 4, 10, 2, and 7 like we used to do. So it's pretty much done away with that. But we're working around it, and I think everybody throughout the state is following it, and I know it's gained momentum in other states. Mm-hmm. I've talked to coaches in other states that I know, and they're implementing the same sort of policy. So my idea on it, my thought is, if it saves one kid, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no sense putting kids in danger, and by all means we're going to follow it, and by all means we're going to make sure our kids' safety. We see to that before anything else.
All right. Well, I appreciate you touching on that. I had one other thing that I was looking at this week. A new star rating came out from Virginia Tech about the helmets, the strength of the helmets, the star rating. Could you touch on that?
Well, first of all, no helmet is like it says on the sticker on the back. No helmet's going to prevent all concussions.
Right.
A concussion is simply more than anything is a sudden stop of the head or sudden stop of the body, and
right.
the brain's going to slam into the skull. Well, a helmet's really not going to completely stop that. But I've seen I've seen what you're talking about. I think Virginia Tech and possibly Duke went together on some sort of study. Okay. They've been working together, and they've ranked the different helmets. And I was real curious to see what it was going to come out, because we're a complete Rydell program. We have nothing but Rydell helmets. And we have almost every one of our helmets are the Rydell Speeds or the Rydell Revolutions. Mm-hmm. And so I was real interested to see what came out, and I saw the Virginia Tech study, and it came out as the helmets we have are ranked number 1. The Rydell Revolution and the Rydell Speed is the number 1 helmet out there. So we felt good about that, but again, like we warned the kids and the coaches understand, no helmet's going to prevent all concussions. Unfortunately, those things do happen in all sports, not just football, but I know basketball and women's soccer is really one of the top concussion sports out there that they're concerned about, people butting the head with the ball and all that sort of thing. But it's a big concern. It's a big issue right now. It's a big talking point amongst professional athletics, college athletics, and high school. Each coach has got to be certified. They have to take we have to take an online course about concussions, and we have to pass a test on there, and then we have to turn it into the Board of Education. And I think most of our coaches have done that. I did mine last night, actually.
There you go.
So I'm all taken care of with that. But it's something that we're all concerned about, and the long-term effects on a person who suffers concussions is a big thing people are concerned about. And as coaches, again, we want to win football games. That's what everybody's interested in. But at the end of the day, it's about the kids, their safety, and their opportunity to compete at the high school level.
How much? Because you see these debates. I know I'm an ESPN junkie, and you see these debates on there about player safety versus the integrity of the game. Is it taken away a little bit? Do you think? I mean, is there a balance that can be met there? You think?
Well, I've been coaching high school football for 25 years, and for 8 years before that, I played college and high school football.
Right.
And I played the defensive line position where it got a little rough, and your whole idea is to get to the quarterback and slam him as hard as you can to the ground and hit running backs as hard as you can, and all the all the things that go along with it, all the things we loved about the game. On one side of me, I'm sitting there saying, you're exactly right. It's got to be about player safety. But the other side of me, I love the big hit.
Yeah.
And football fans love the big hit. That's what separates our game from other games, is the fact that we can run into you as hard as we can, and that's, you've made a good play by doing that. And it's so I have a little bit of mixed feelings about this sort of thing. As an old defensive player, the horse collar rule, I know it's meant for safety. Mm-hmm. It was made famous by the tackle that was put on Terrell Owens back when he was with the Eagles and broke his ankle. Well, throughout the history of time, I've seen horse collar tackles all through my playing and coaching career, and I've yet to see anybody get hurt. But all of a sudden on TV, one person breaks their ankle when they're making a Super Bowl run. Now we have a rule. You can no longer grab somebody by the back of the shirt and pull them down.
I've often wondered if some of these rule changes are knee-jerk reactions.
I think so. I really think so. And, of course, there's two things that run our society, and that's money and that's lawsuits, And people are, scared of the lawsuits. And I know there's lawsuits out there as far as people getting hurt and former NFL players and their injuries. But it's still, I'm concerned about our game. I'm concerned that, 50 years or 100 years down the road, will we even have this game? I have real questions about that. I'm thinking it may be gone one day. And I hate to see it, because it's a great game, and the things that are taught on a football field, and I know the things I learned on a football field from old mean football coaches, are things that have lasted with me forever, and been beneficial to me. So I really worry about the game when it comes to people wanting to change a lot of things for it. And so
I know on your personal page you posted a picture of Dick Butkus.
Yeah.
And by today's standards, those guys, Butkus and Mean Joe Green and all those guys, they'd be almost considered dirty players.
Yeah, they'd be dirty players, and they'd be poor players because they'd be fined every week. They wouldn't make any money. But back in the early days of my coaching, we really emphasized hitting, the hitting part of the game, and we used to show our kids the old big hit highlight films, the NFL. But you can't buy those anymore. The NFL will not sell those or make those kind of films anymore because they don't want to glorify big hits.
Yeah.
So the NFL is just not going to glorify the old Dick Butkus and the Nitschkes and the people like that anymore, because that style of football is not accepted anymore. So, and I hate to see it go. And it's it seemed like back in those days we didn't have as many injuries as we have today.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Tony Baselli spoke to that. Last year there was a big debate, and he came out and said if you take the percentage of the players that are actually being hurt, it's minimal compared to what the reaction that the league, we don't want to get too much into the league because I don't need a lawsuit.
Yeah.
But what I mean, what Tony Baselli is saying about that. And
well, one thing I've emphasized to our kids is, if you're going full speed, your chances of getting hurt, in my opinion, are a lot less than if you're going half speed and you get twisted up or you take the hit. So, I really got a lot of mixed feelings on all that. Like I said, the worst part of this game is injuries.
Yeah.
But the best part of this game is the big hits.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I don't know. It's like South Carolina last year, South Carolina, Michigan.
Clowney.
ACC official came out and said this year that he would have flagged that play.
Yeah, and that was a great hit. Neither player got hurt. Both players jumped right up, but it was a great hit. And like I've seen the same thing. If that particular hit would happen this year, it's a flag. I just don't quite get that.
I don't understand it either, Coach. I know you want to talk about Friday night and everything, so we'll take a short break, come back, and head into football.
That'd be good.
Appreciate it.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation offers more than dependable electrical energy at a competitive price. Quality service is provided by a friendly and professional staff trained to meet your every electrical power need, whether residential, commercial, or industrial. If you have any questions or need information, call us at 1-800-262-5131. Okefenokee REMC, owned by those we serve. A proud sponsor of this year's Indian football broadcast.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. We're going to lead into Friday night, Coach. We've had a couple of good weeks of practice and talk about what's been going on and lead into the SOAP game Friday night.
Well, we started practice, and of course, like we talked about the heat. It's tough to get some things done with the heat. The kids get exhausted pretty quick out there, but we're getting things in. Again, we feel like that our installment of the offense and defense and special teams is going well. We really, unfortunately, pretty much non-contact. We've had a couple of injuries. T.J. Wilson, Terry, he's our best defensive football player, dislocated his shoulder with no pads on, just going against a blocking dummy, dislocated his shoulder, so we're concerned about him. And then also our running back, Andrew Lee, re-broke his arm the other day in practice. Again, it was just 10 minutes into our first full pad practice, breaks his arm, and he broke his arm back in the last game against Marion. Towards the end of the game, broke both bones, had to have surgery. Well, this time only one of the bones broke, but it's in the same area, same arm, so we're concerned about losing those two guys for quite some time. But other than that, we're kind of guiding our way into this scrimmage on Friday night, our annual soap game,
right?
Where people bring laundry soap and other types of things. We don't need bar soap.
Right.
We're going to have other things for that because we're worried about staff, so we don't want kids sharing bars of soap. But laundry soap, bleach, white towels we use for
towels.
White towels, and also negative R blank DVDs, negative R. Those are the things we're needing. We're going to start the thing off with our Braves, our JV team, or our junior high team is going to be out there. We're going to put some of our younger B team kids out there against them a little bit, just to kind of give them a look, and then we'll back those guys off and we'll let them finish up, just going against junior high versus junior high, and then we'll come out with the varsity and we will scrimmage. I don't know how long it's going to be for the simple fact that our numbers are down. We're about 52 players, and we've got a couple that are injured. A couple may be out for this thing, so we're going to divide it up. Number one offense versus the best we have left on defense for a little while. Then we'll switch it up and we'll put our number one defense out there versus, again, what we have left of number one offense against them. So it's going to be good for us to get it on film. It's going to be good for us to be able to look at it and kind of get in game preparation mode, if you would, of looking at film, making corrections, and then getting ready for a week from Friday going to Pierce County for our scrimmage to get the season started.
Dress rehearsal
At Pierce County in 2 weeks, and again this week will just be basically a glorified practice underneath the lights this Friday night.
It's always a good turnout though for the soap game.
It really is, and I've been asked this week what's the idea of the soap game. And where I brought it here from was when I was in high school. We had a soap game every year, and I can remember even as a junior high kid helping carry the barrels of soap into the gym, and then as a player, us having the soap game and so forth, and big crowd turnout, and I guess saves the athletic department some money from having to buy laundry detergent. So we still have laundry detergent left over from a year ago, but we can always use more. Always use more.
And every little expense, I mean, because we talked about this a little bit in the opening show this year, there's a lot that goes into these programs.
There really is, and this year especially with the new field house. The new field house is just about finished. Hopefully before long we'll be able to do a show or two from inside the new field house.
Well, that'd be
and
awesome.
The quarterback club is going to be responsible for putting in lockers, and the lockers are going to be about $40,000. So we have a lot of money to raise for the quarterback club. And we're going to sell opportunities for people to put their names inside the lockers forever and so forth. We'll talk about that down the road, I'm sure. And there's other things that needs to go into the field house. We want to put a projection system in there to watch film on and other things. So really all the money we're raising right now for the quarterback club is probably going to end up going to that. I know right now we're finishing up tomorrow, which would be Tuesday. We're finishing up the scorecards, and that's been a big success. And this Saturday we have our annual golf tournament. That's usually a good little fundraiser right there.
That's at Folkestone Country Club?
Folkestone Golf Course. And then we also are putting the finishing touches on our game night program, which is also another good fundraiser. But yet, if anybody feels that they want to make any contributions to our quarterback club, it's tax deductible. And again, it will go to putting things in the field house and making that really a state-of-art high school football field house. That's my goal, and that looks like the way it's going.
So if they want to do that, if they wanted to make a charitable donation, they need to contact
Brian Hewling,
Hewling.
State Farm Insurance. Brian's been our quarterback club president forever, and we run our quarterback club through State Farm Insurance. You can see Brian Hewling at State Farm Insurance, or you can see me, and I can take your contribution up to Brian.
You won't
but
turn it down.
I won't turn it down. And every little bit helps, and anybody that wants to make a contribution to this project, the field house, the lockers, we're more than welcome accepting it.
Game-wise, Friday night, what should the fans expect to see out of the offense, defense? I know you won't show
Well, first of all, the talent is going to be split up a little bit, so it could be deceiving a little bit. We're going to try to start off with mostly our first offense, and there may be times where it looks like we're scoring pretty easy, and that's a little bit unrealistic because, again, we may have to put some kids out there that aren't ready for varsity level football. So then we'll switch it around, and you'll see a defense out there that may make every play at the line of scrimmage, and you're going to think, hey, we're great on defense, but yet they're not going against the varsity level offense necessarily. So it can be misleading, and we will have some questions answered after this thing, looking at film, but we'll have a lot more questions answered after Pierce County.
Yeah.
That way we'll really get to see something that's not scripted, something to where we'll be surprised we got to adjust to things we see. So that's when it's going to be really interesting to see what happens there.
I know we'll get more into Pierce County next week, but pretty much the same, expecting the same look as last season out of them?
I think so. Pierce County, we know their offense very well. And Pierce County's quarterback is committed to SMU. He's a Division I quarterback, probably one of the top 20, 25 quarterbacks in the entire country at the high school level this year. So it's going to be interesting to go against him. They have a couple receivers that are really outstanding. So it's going to be a tough challenge. But offensively, we know what they do. They do really what we do. Yeah. So it's easy to get prepared for. Defensively, that's going to be good for us to be able to make adjustments versus the looks we're going to get. And, again, we won't know those looks until we get on the field.
All right, Coach. Anything else you want to hit on? A quarterback club?
Just hope everybody makes their way out this Friday to the SOAP game.
7 o'clock?
7 o'clock. The junior high starts at 7. Varsity guys will take off right after that. And, again, a week from this Friday at Blackshear. Plenty of seats. Come on up and get the high school football season started.
We're planning on covering that. We're still trying to get the sponsor. So if you want us to buy a sponsor spot on a Charlton Sportsnet webcast, we're still needing that. So we're beating the bushes.
That's great.
But all right, Coach. We'll see. 7 o'clock. Price of admission is the soap or towels.
Is soap, towels, and if you don't have that, come on in anyway.
Come on in anyway. All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate it, and we'll see y'all next week. We'll see y'all Friday night at the soap game, 7 o'clock.